Alright, welcome back to our video tutorial series on designing a 3D house in Rhino 5. So this one we're going to look at extending our exterior walls up and then adding a roof to our model. So I'm going to start just by showing you a simple picture of what our roof type is going to look like. So basically we're going to have this front to back. We're going to have a 35-degree sloped roof. We have to extend our walls up here. We're going to have a 1-foot overhang on the side, and then we're going to have a perpendicular smaller roof over top of our front entrance. So it's going to be a lot smaller than this one here, which covers probably a whole room on the inside. So that's what it looks like rendered in 3D. This is what the blueprints for this type of ceiling would look like. We have our rafters. This would be our roof extension that we'll put siding over top of after. So a couple of things to note. First is I added a small overhang for our entrance here, so that we do that the exact same way we added our ceiling in the previous step. And I also added some supports for it. So these are both 0.75 feet thick, and I place them on the edge of our steps. Alright, so first thing we're going to do here is in the layer with our exterior and interior walls, I'm going to add a large wall going up the side of the house. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off this layer so it's a little easier to work with. So I'm going to select that point there. I'm going to go 3-point, just so that I can easier place this. I'm going to go 0.85. I'm going to place it on this wall there. Go down on the corner here. And then for this one, I'm just going to manually make it quite tall because we're going to end up cutting a lot of it off later anyways. So it's better to have extra than not enough for right now. So I'm just going to copy and paste this to the other side. So Command C for copy, Command V for paste. And I'm going to grab a corner here and snap that into place. Alright, so we've added what is a very tall addition to our exterior walls right now, but it won't remain like that forever. I'm going to go ahead and turn our floor and ceiling back on for now, and I'm going to go to a layer that I created called roof. I'm going to turn off our walls right now. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to add the actual roof, and I'm going to start on this back side over here. So to do this, we're first going to create using the 3-point tool. We're just going to create another box. So I'm going to go 0.5 feet. And I'm going to drag that down there. And same as with the addition to our exterior wall, I'm just going to make this one quite tall for right now so that we have enough to work with. And I'm going to copy and paste it to the other side. Command C, Command V. Using the gumball tool, I drag that pretty close, and then I will just grab the corner there and snap that into place. So next up, we have to give our ceiling an angle. There's many different angles that you can have for ceilings. Some are for aesthetic purposes, some are for the kind of optimal rain flow off of the ceiling. For this one, as per blueprints, we're going to make it 35 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this 35 degrees. I might have to do it negative. I'll try positive first. So I have to go negative 35. sorry, positive 35 for that side. Sorry, let's start with this side over here. So for this one, we'll go 35. Sorry. We actually have to go 65 degrees. And the negative direction on this side. And now that I have it fairly close to the right spot, I'm going to grab that corner, the top corner. I'm going to snap that into place so everything lines up flush. Same thing here, I'm going to grab the top corner there. Place that on the intersection. Alright, so there we have the pitch of our roof. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut these pieces off. So there's a couple ways we can do it. We can Boolean split it. We can use the cut tool. So let's try the cut tool first and see if we can get that to work. So I select them both, press enter. The objects I want to trim are this one, and we're done. So there we have our ceiling. The next thing we have to do is we have to extend it a foot on each side to give it our overhang. So for this, sometimes I find that the scale, the non-uniform scale tool doesn't work that properly when you already have something on an angle. It's off of the CP plane in the program. So if we would have done it before we turned everything and trimmed it, that would have been a really good option, but we didn't. So to do this, we're going to go in top view, and we're just going to manually scale it because I have the grid snap tool on and I have it set to 0.25 feet. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 snaps, and that 4 times 0.25 feet is 1 foot. So now when we look at it, there should be a 1 foot overhang on each side. So if we turn on our walls, you see that we have our 1 foot overhang there. So that is looking pretty good. So the next thing we want to do is we want to cut this piece off. So let's try the trim tool again. Done. Alright, so there we have our top roof done. And now the next thing that I want you guys to try and do on your own is to add a small ceiling covering here. So same thing, it'll be 35 degree slope here, 35 degree slope here, and you'll have to go all the way back so that it's connected to the roof back here. So in the next video you'll see how mine turned out, and hopefully yours turned out alright. You use the exact same principles as you did for our top ceiling here.